When Squid Game released, 3 days later, two young men arrested for watching it in North Korea. In North Korea, everyone dream is that they are craving for a ball of white rice. It was my dream. It was my everything. When I sat down on the table in South Korea and there was a huge bowl of white rice, I was crying and crying. I clearly remember that when I entered my school, there was a huge poster that let's kick out American from our country. North Korean people, they won't change. They are ready to meet us. I see huge and rapid changes happening inside North Korea. What I see is a people who want freedom.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. My name is Charles and I skipped North Korea twice. And today we have a very special guest, my dear friend, Il-Yong. Il-Yong and I actually met back in 2018, working at the same nonprofit, Liberty in North Korea. And Il-Yong has some incredible stories to tell. And also Il-Yong is very passionate about helping North Korean refugees. Especially working with North Korean people that are inside of North Korea and also the North Korean Christians, North Korean Christian community. So, Il-Yong, thank you so much for joining. So please tell us your story.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for watching Charles' video. My name is Il-Yong. I was born in North Korea. Cheongjin City, which is very northern part of North Korea, near the border area between China and Russia. Until 2008, I lived in North Korea with my parents, two of my sisters, and grandparents. And my job in North Korea was a shepherd, so I heard the goat every day. Because there was only the goat was the only nutrition provider for my family. So that was my primary job. Of course, I had to go to school few days a week, but normally I herded a goat. But among that normal days, my father had a chance to hear South Korean Christian broadcasting, which is a radio broadcasting, which is a FEBC, which is Far East Broadcasting in South Korea, Christian broadcasting towards North Korea. And after 10 years of listening that radio, my father decided to escape from North Korea. So he tried 4 attempts, but after 3 failed, he could made to South Korea successfully. And finally, in 2009, me, one of my sister, and I escaped. And then I could resettled in South Korea since 2009. And in here, I graduated high school here, university here, graduate school here, and recently I running an organization called TIMJ, which is a 통일마중, which is I go meet unification. Is that right, meaning? I mean,
So 통일마중 is like a preparation of the reunification. Like English translation is a preparation for reunification. I think what you're doing right now is amazing, which is trying to help North Korean refugees in South Korea and for the preparation of the reunification. So I'm very proud of you. But I'd like to ask some follow-up questions. So how did you escape North Korea? Like, how was the process like?
It was that's really good and basic question, right? But I was young. I was only 13 years old when I was escaped from North Korea. So I was with my mom. So I wasn't that much scared. I was so excited about going out from North Korea. Because when we are living in North Korea, there's really rare, almost impossible to go out to other country, right? Even it's hard to move to other city, province. So I was very excited about that. So I was teasing with my sisters on the day on that event day,
Mm,
my
mm,
mom was so mad of it because she was so nervous. But the kids, they were like
mm.
yelling, playing, and like, "Hey, stop it!" And like and it was October, late October, end of October in North Korea.
Mm,
We
mm, mm,
approached Tuman River, the river between North Korea and China, and in the evening, me, one of my sister, and my mother, we approached the Tuman River and we waited the the until the darkness comes, until the sun goes down, and then
mm,
at night, we swam the river,
mm. Was it
China.
the Tumangang or was it the Amnokgang? Was
Yeah,
it
it
the
was a
Namgyang?
Tuman River, yeah, Tumangang.
Hesan. So it wasn't through the Hesan. It was through Onsong, Namyang.
Yes, it was Onsong.
So from Cheongjin to Onsong, huh? I
Yes,
see.
yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you remember anything from school, like when you went to like school in North Korea? Like, because like when I was in North Korea, I only went to school up until when I was 11, so I don't remember much. But I'm assuming that you went to school until like you were 13 years old. Like, do you remember anything about like the school subjects?
Yeah, you know, I clearly remember that when I entered my school, there was a huge poster that let's say
Mm.
kicking out American from our country. I'm so sorry. I mean, almost your audience are Americans, but yeah, but still now I love American people, but when I was in
Mm.
North Korea, that huge
Mhm.
poster,
Right.
and um, there was a ethic
Mm.
class, ethic.
공산주의 도덕, right?
Yes,
Let's go. Or is it
communism.
사회주의 도덕?
Yes, in in that book
Mm.
was that yes in that book there was a story that about American missionary. They
Mm.
are describing American missionaries like a really bad guy. So like
Mm.
he found out that some kids steal some apple from the farm, and the missionary came to him and write a thief.
Thief
Yeah,
on his
in
head.
yes with what was that? Something like burning
Chemical.
your yes
Yeah,
chemical.
it's like a bleach. It's like a chemical that burns your skin.
Yeah, you remember that story, right?
I yeah, North Korea is trying to manipulate like the Christianity and get North Korean people to hate Christianity, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I remember one of those. Yeah.
And I mean, most of them is related about America, but there was a sports game that killing American. I'm so sorry for the bad word, but that was the game. You know,
Yeah, I do
it
remember
was
that
like
too.
you know,
Yeah, I remember every
Uh,
single like yeah,
yeah, everything related with that, right? Just
right.
running to them, hit American statue with a stick, like burning them. I was really good
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, you were really good at it. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, so that's amazing. So you escaped North Korea when you were 13. So I'm assuming you escaped with your sister and your mother, right? And
Yes.
the reason why so you're actually, it's fun fact, Ilyong actually have met President Trump, and back in 2019, was it, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you shared your personal story with President Trump, and you got to advise on him on like North Korean human rights. So I'm very honored. And yeah, that's amazing. Like, tell us about like a little bit about like your resettlement journey in South Korea, and how was it for you adapting to this new culture? Because I know that you had some difficulties, right, like in adjusting to like South Korean culture.
Yes, yes, of course. Um, you know, when I on very first days in my life in South Korea, when I released from education center and did research in South Korea, like I was sick on the next day morning. My first day in South Korea morning, I was sad. I was sitting on the table and there was a huge bowl of rice, white
Mm,
rice. You remember?
mm,
In North Korea, everyone dream is that they are craving for a white rice, right?
mhm, mhm.
It was my dream. It was my everything, you know?
Mine too.
Yeah. So when I was sat down on the table and there was a huge bowl of white rice and really good soup, and when when I was watching it, I was crying and crying. I
Mm,
cried a lot because even 5 months ago, my friend who who were hanging with me,
mm,
even 5 months ago, they are
mm,
still in starvation. So, but I was sitting in South Korea, Seoul table
mm,
with the with really good food. So
mm,
I couldn't eat that. So I
mm,
cried a lot. I was only
mm,
13, but I cried a lot.
mm, mm,
It was it was really terrible taste. I couldn't feel I couldn't taste anything. Just it was like a sand. I was like
mm,
chewing sand.
mm,
So um and next day when I was in the morning again, um I was in my process to waking up, but I didn't want it to open my eyes because I
mm,
was afraid. If I open my eyes, I'm afraid that if I was in North Korea, what should I do?
mm,
I couldn't
mm,
open my eyes. I would just wait until
mm,
the sound, my mother's chopping uh, radish sound.
mm,
That sound is so sweet. And my
mm,
father turned on the TV, and the TV sound was a South Korean news accent. So I was feel like,
mm,
oh, I'm in South Korea. So I could
mm,
open my, and that was my very first days in South Korea. But one thing I surprised is that, um, uh, I mean, I I would not say it's a difficulties, but at some point it was a difficulties. For example, when I go outside to take a subway, the stair was moving. The stair was moving. Stair
mm.
moving. Escalator.
Yeah.
So I was so afraid. I need to calculate the timing when to get in, when to get out. So I was jumping on the escalator and waiting the
Yeah.
time and jump out.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite
Mhm.
funny story, but it was quite difficulties for me.
Right,
And
right. How do you
yeah,
like time? Like when do you get off? Like
hmm
how do you calculate the time to jump on the right time? And
yeah,
it
it
felt
was
like it's
shocking.
gonna eat your feet too.
Uh-huh.
I have
And
the
like,
same experience.
yeah, you did.
Hmm. Hmm.
And one of my father's colleague,
Hmm.
he took us to the buffet, you know. But in the buffet, it was my life first time to enter some place with the huge food without the guard.
Hmm.
So nobody was keeping the food. So I was
Hmm.
thinking that that guy, my father's colleague, might testing me whether I steal the food or not. So I just walked to the fried rice and eat a little of fried rice, and I didn't eat anything. I was
Oh
like,
wow.
I am very concise. Yeah, 양심적인, like,
Um,
con-
양심적으로, so he was being very
yes, conscious.
conscious about taking the food.
Yes, because I was like feeling that he's gonna testing me, that like.
You know,
And
uh,
yeah,
it's like for my audience, for American audience, who what Ilyong is talking about right now is that so in North Korea, because there's so little food, and I grew up with we grew up with so little food, and every time we go out to a place where there is so much food, that's usually in Tangmadang, right? It's like a black
yeah,
market. And usually when there is a lot of food, there are people who are actually selling them, right? And who's standing there with each different variety of the food. And you have to pay money to eat that. But Ilyong, when he went to buffet, he walked in, there's so much food, and there is nobody who's selling that food. So he was very confused and curious about like, wait, what's happening here?
Yes.
Is my dad's friend testing me right now? Let me just go ahead and grab a little bit of this fried rice and I won't touch anything else. Dude,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And that is the only thing that I regret when I live in South Korea. So now when I go to buffet, I at least 5 times I go to get food.
Good for you. You know,
Yeah.
I actually had a very similar experience too.
Oh,
So when I first came to America, a friend of mine actually took me because I was from Concord, and in Concord is a city, and there's like a shopping mall, right? So within the shopping mall, there was a like a buffet restaurant, like a sushi restaurant, but it's buffet, so you can just eat whatever you want. And I went in there and I was just so overwhelmed with like so many different food. Like I really didn't know what to get, right? So I just ended up like, getting a white rice and then some soup and that's it. Like I didn't touch any of those ribs, the seafood, like sushi, sashimi, like I did not touch any of it because I was just so overwhelmed.
yes, yes.
And from then on, I was like, when I come back home, I was like, man, I should have, tried all of this different food. And then like next time I go, like you, Leong, I actually grab, make sure to go back like at least 3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but other things in resettling in South Korea was not that quite difficult because
Mm,
of course some of my North Korean colleague friend, they are having a hard time to resettling in South Korea, but in my
mm,
case,
mhm,
gratefully, thanks to God sent me a lot of good people around me. So my friend
mm,
they were so nice. They were
mm,
like in Korean elementary school, they are providing you a milk, a pack of
mhm.
milk every day,
Like
and
soy milk, right?
yeah, no, just milk,
Oh, just real milk.
cow milk. It's a white, right? And one of my friend that every day he bring a chocolate powder and he gave it to me. And hey, my friend,
Mm.
yeah, put this in the milk and shake it, and it's gonna be so good. He was so and like many of my friends, they were so curious about me, so curious about North Korea, and I was
Mhm.
so having fun with them, and like they were so good. They were like not bullying me, like yeah, and so gratefully it was not hard to settle in here. And of course, I came here when I was young, right?
Mhm.
So um, yeah, so
A lot of.
everything
Mhm.
grateful.
Mm, mm. So wait, because you came to South Korea at such a young age, and also you had your parents too, right?
Hmm.
So both parents
Yes, both parents.
and your sister as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's extremely lucky, and that's extremely blessed. Yeah, yeah,
It is. It is.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I know that. Now I'm hearing that. Okay, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God that you did not have such a hard time resettling in South Korea. But would you please share, because you live in South Korea and you actually work with North Korean refugees in South Korea, right?
mhm.
Like a few. Would you be able to share with us like what are some challenges that actually North Korean refugees that are going through in South Korea?
Yeah. I would say. I mean, in my experience, when I was working with North Korean defectors, and I hear some difficulties from them. Of course, one thing is about the people's image perception
Mm,
and
mm, mm,
kind of stereotype. So that
mm.
one of my friend, even in school, teachers says to him that you are red communist, right? That,
Wow.
that kind of criticism. No,
Criticism. Yeah.
yes, kind of things are it's quite rare. but it
Mm.
happens. So because of that, when some North Korean defectors having hard time to resettling in South Korea,
Mm.
and the other thing is that about information, lack of information, because it is really hard to have some information in South Korea. Because when you are in North Korea, everything, the government provides you everything. So
Mhm.
you don't need to choose. You don't need to think. You just
Mhm.
follow what government says. There was a
Mhm.
life in North Korea, but I was young,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I could easily accept the culture in South Korea. But people who came here when they get when they adult child came to
Mhm.
South Korea, they are having a
Mhm.
hard time to receive that kind of, because everything you need to research, you need to decide, you need to find information, and you need to looking for a job. Everything is, it's you decide, you take responsibility in South Korea.
Mhm.
Every
Mhm.
in liberty country, right?
Right. Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I would say that part at some point is something hard, difficult to North Korean
Mm.
defectors.
Mhm.
Um, and the other problem that people faced in North Korea is that uh, people who came alone, they are extremely
Mm.
loneliness. Even now, in Korea is a Chuseok season, which is a Korean
Mhm.
style Thanksgiving, and
Mhm.
Chuseok season, everyone goes to their family, so the
Mhm.
soul is very empty. No
Mm.
cars on the street. Like everyone goes to meet their family, but North Korean defectors, we have no place to go, just by myself. So
Mhm.
every relatives, my friends are in North Korea. So
Mhm.
defectors have no place to go, no people to meet in holidays. So that kind of thing uh, make people
Mm.
yes, have
Yeah. Yeah. Alongside those loneliness and the cultural differences, I mean, to be honest, South Korea and North Korea had been separated for almost 80 years now. And because of that reason, there are prominent differences in cultures. So I can't imagine what, people actually go through. And, this is very unfortunate because us North Korean, defectors or North Koreans basically were taught that, we are brothers and sisters, right? In North Korea, and that we're one blood, 한교래. Especially when we're taught that, North Korea and South Korea are basically 한교래, but when North Korean defectors comes to South Korea, right? Like they risk everything to come to South Korea and, to start a fresh life, but they get discriminated and they get they get treated differently because because we are North Koreans and it's really sad. And also, as I said in the other video, like when North Korean refugee does one thing wrong, all of the North Korean defectors community gets, blamed for it, because of this social conflicts of like North Korean defectors would come to South Korea and they just take our money, right? Yeah, so which is extremely sad. But one thing that I'm really hoping for is that Ilyong, like people like you are, leaders like you are, because you're actually CEO of the TGT
I am.
통일만심. Yeah, so I'm really hoping that you can actually bring a positive change to South Korean society and just show them how great we're doing, right? Like we're not, we yeah sure we just need a little bit of push, initial push, right? Just a head start, like a jump start in our lives. But when we have the right system and right support, we can do it, right? Like we can do it. So, with that being said, so Ilyong, so would you please tell us a little bit about like your organizations and what do you do now that
Mm.
yeah, now that you've resettled really well and adjusted really well.
Yeah. Thankfully, when I resettled in South Korea, there was a really good friends around me, and even today, I do like some kind of I'm a Christian, so I do have a regular worship one day, once a month, every fourth Thursday in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And in that prayer meeting, most of them, the members are South Koreans. So South Korean young leaders. So they are South Korean young leaders and we are working together. Really, we are like one. There was no anything between us. No South Korean, no North Korean, just us.
Mm. Just
So
us. That's
yeah.
amazing.
So in my organization through TIMJ, usually go by Team J. So
Team J. Team Jesus?
Team for Jesus, yeah, just Team J.
Yeah.
Our in my Team J, what we are doing is that we are trying to bring gospel or bring informations, bring kind of about democracy, of liberty, gospel, like informations from outside into bring into North Korea. So what we are trying to do is that working directly with the people inside North Korea through North
Wow.
Korean defectors in South Korea.
Wow.
So through that, we are trying to cooperate with the people inside North Korea, so that because North Korean people they want change. They are craving for freedom, and they are ready to receive the kind of democracy because because of marketization in North Korea. After that, people's like most people, they are turned their back from the regime and they are pursuing market capitalism, freedom, informations, K dramas. North Korean peoples, they are like ready. They are ready to receive our culture. So and the North Korean defectors who resettled in South Korea and all over the world, at least half of them still have a connection with their family inside. Of course, it's a secretly it's ongoing, but at least half of them still have a connection with them. So through that channel, we are trying to bring gospel into North Korea. So we are working with them, trying to evangelize them, and trying to help them to having a worship inside North Korea. That's what we are doing, and because I'm in a really frontier line, I see some huge and a lot changes, rapid changes happening inside North Korea. No, North Korea
Wow.
is not a North Korea that we know before. North Korea is a totally different like place. Like people's I mean, because when we are think about North Korea, like our first image is like Rocket Man, nuclear weapon, famine, and that kind of things are our first image, right? I would say it's kind of a stereotype because when we see North Korea, in my sight, what I see is a
When people think about North Korea, they usually think of nuclear warheads, authoritarianism, and a heartless dictator. I'm making contents because I want everybody to think of North Korean people. They are ordinary people who don't know how much better life could be. If you want to help me be a voice for voiceless North Koreans, I would love for you to support me on Patreon, where you can get early access to full-length videos, all sorts of fun pictures, outtakes, and other exclusive videos. Thank you, and I hope to see you there.
in my sight, what I see is a people who want freedom, people who want God in North Korea. That's what I see in South Korea. So
That's
North Korea is not a regime. North Korea is a people. 25 millions. They are waiting us. They are ready to meet us. That's what I do. What I
wow.
meant.
Yeah, oh, that's amazing. I mean, to work with people that are in North Korea, that's extraordinary because people usually think that North Korea is completely blocked off and there is no information going in or coming out of North Korea. But to hear that, yes, you are actually working with North Koreans and also trying to bring gospels inside North Korea. And also not just bring in, the gospels in North Korea, but be able to track like, how many people, like, I think there was like a 400,000 underground Christians are in North Korea right now. So that's amazing. And Ilyong, I just wanted to ask you a quick follow-up question about you being like, North Korea is not the North Korea that we know before, like, nuclear weapons and famine and starvation. Um, while I personally believe that it is to a certain extent, it still happens, like starvation still happens in North Korea. But like, would you tell us a little bit about like what do you like a what kind of different things that you see in North Korea because you're actually in communication with North Korea.
Yeah, I mean, now the situation is a little bit different because of COVID-19. But before
Mm,
COVID-19, when we usually think about North Korea, there's a distribution system, so people is all equal and like, but that
mhm,
system is collapsed, so people is very poor and everyone is dying. That's like
mhm,
our like concept about North Korea, right? But
mhm.
after 1990s, when the
Right.
Soviet Union
Famine.
collapsed, yeah,
Right.
the
Big famine. Yeah.
yeah, and Great Famine. So after the North Korean distribution system collapsed, and 3 million died by starvation in that
Wow.
season,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
born in that season,
Mhm.
1996.
Right.
So after that, people was trying to people need to survive. So
Right.
they will bring their livestock from their house to on the street. They are beginning exchanging their livestock with the rice, and that became a black market in North Korea.
Right.
You know,
Chamadang. Yep.
it's
Mhm.
they call it 장마당, and not 장마당, sorry, 장마당,
Chamadang.
장마당, right? So,
Yeah.
because of Jangmadang, people became a richer. So there
Mm.
was a Donju, which is a money masters like uh, made in North Korea.
Donju. Yeah, it's like a loan shark in a way, isn't it? Like
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
it's that people who have a lot of money and they like borrow it to somebody else too, right?
Yes, yes. So because of the market, people getting richer, and
Mm.
if you try, you can survive. If you working hard, you can survive because of market.
Mm.
So because of
Mm.
exchange system, and it's like
Mm.
like very like it's early capitalism system was built in
Mm.
North by the people.
Mm.
So
Mm.
because of that, until COVID-19, people there was a starvation rate was really get
Low.
lower, yeah,
Yeah.
low.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that makes a huge change inside North Korea because
Mhm. Mhm.
North Korean government was trying to stop the market, but the
Right.
people, yeah,
Yeah.
was trying to make a market, and that
Mhm.
conflict was uh, very high in 2009 when there was a currency devaluation in North Korea.
Right. Yep. I was there.
Right there, right? And
Yeah.
people, what was your reaction? You really hated it, right?
Right, we hate like we actually threw money out, right? Because like the money actually have Kim Il Sung's face on it, so we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to treat it really well, but people are just like dumping money out on the like Taedonggang. Like you will see like stacks of like 100원짜리 and just like floating around, like 5,000원짜리, just like 5,000 North Korean won, like just floating around, and like what is going on, And there was a lot of like uh, graffiti, graffiti in the Taedonggangs too, Taedonggang daris too, saying Taedonggang like the bridge, in the Taedong Bridge, like saying like I hate like Kim Il Sung, and like I hate Kim Jong Il, I hate the regime, and 조선노동당 like 망해라,
Yeah.
um, I would see those, yeah. So I agree with you. Mhm.
And after that, next year, 2010, North Korean economic prime minister came to the council in front of the people and he apologized.
Right.
But you know, in North Korea, there was a Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il. He apologized about their policy. You know, but in North Korea, when the party says, when the great deal leader says that's a law, right? He's not something doing wrong. He's unfair. But they
Right.
apologized about their policy. That means they were afraid of the people's reaction because of the market.
Right.
Yeah, after that, people's credibility about people's trust
Trust
about
about
regime collapsed, and then they became a real juche life. The North Korean ideology, real juche life, self-reliance.
people. We gotta rely on ourselves, not the regime. Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. That's
and
incredible. Yeah. hmm
after that, young people, when they have money, they are trying to looking for something new. That brings a huge South Korean K-drama wave in North Korea. So even the Gangnam Style, right? Gangnam Style.
How could I not?
When Gangnam Style hit the Billboard chart 2 weeks later in Cheongjin area, we received the news that two young guys was horse dancing. And even Squid Game. When Squid Game released, 3 days later, two young men arrested for watching it in North Korea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the cultural level is kind of similar now. North Korean young guys, yes. So like they're
That's
ready,
that's so fascinating. And okay, so another follow-up question, like, I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of like, North Korea just opened up the tourism, right? So for the 5 long years, they were actually closed off, and you know how like the Western like influencers going into North Korea and saying, yeah, North Korea is great, nothing feels fake. Yeah, people are like, yeah, it's just like any other country, just like any other country. Like, North Korea has freedom of religion. North Korea, has churches, and people can, go to church, and yeah, just like what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how they have a confidence about their situation. I mean, when but now I know how they confidence like that because when Westerners when they are trying traveling in North Korea, the people who meet them is not a real citizen. They are agent trained. Everyone you meet is like a huge setup, like it's 그 뭐라고 하죠? 세팅된 그
Like a Truman Show. It's like a setup.
yeah
It's like people have
yeah
been prepared, like they have been like prepared for. I mean, North Korea was actually closed up for 5 years, right? And I mean, North Korea has spent so much money in Pyongyang to develop like Pyongyang to look as normal as possible, right? And not just the constructions, not just the like buildings and things, but also like that goes for like training people as well, right? So yeah, is that what we're gonna say?
yeah.
Like,
And you know how is it? How I say is that because there was a professor who was working with me, and he had a chance to going into North Korea. He was a North Korean expert, so he was a government when he was a government official. He had a chance to visit North Korea, and he went to a church. Of course, there is a churches in North Korea. Few churches,
state
government, yeah, government built church. But it's not actually a church, but it's a set up the church. But he went church because North Korea trying to say that we have a freedom of religion. So when he went that church, there was a deacon, 집사님.
Mhm.
There was a one 집사님 in North Korea, deacon.
Dickon?
Yeah.
How do you like one of the leaders of the church? I guess I don't know how to say 집사님 in English.
Deacon,
Yeah.
like a deacon. He is a
Deacon?
deacon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
아무튼 그 when he met that man and
hmm
that man was 특송 special 특송 영어로 어떻게
Like a
특송
special
singing
특성?
special
What were?
so before the sermon begin someone comes up and singing special guest like a special guest
Like an introduction? Or
uh it's like a worship leader. He was like a
oh,
worship
okay.
leader. Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, he sang two songs. And the professor says that they will say encore, encore. So he sang one more song.
Uh-huh.
And the professor was so touched by that. And he was with them. He went his house with them. And he said that he asked, please sing me one more song. And but he couldn't. Because that three song is only he prepared.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that means the even in church that people's trained to like acting they're Christian, but the actual aspect they were like
Yeah.
they don't know how to sing the hymn.
Right. I mean, like, who, like, during the worship, like, it's like a pre-service, right? So it's like, whenever you go to church, we have like, we worship together first, like like sermon, right? And we do the songs. Usually, like, do like a one or two, and then the pastor comes up and they like do the announcements and etc. And then we go to the main message in Western culture, right? Or even South Korea. But nobody does anchor. Like nobody goes anchor, anchor. 하나
But
더, 하나 더. Yeah, that's hilarious. I see. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of proof that yeah, it's like I mean, there are a lot of proof that like you don't get to visit Pyongyang as a regular citizen, right? You don't get to go to Pyongyang as a regular citizen, and maybe if you're lucky, you get chosen to go for like a field trip, maybe like during the weekends, or like if you're in a school, then you may get to go a field trip or things like that. But yeah, like, and I think that's why because regular people are not allowed in Pyongyang, it's so much easy to control the media, right? And control what you show it to the foreigners because regular people aren't allowed in there. It's a very special place for special people. Yeah. Well, Ilyong, thank you so much. And last question. You've mentioned that you're Christian, and I kind of wanted to know like how was and I'm sure our audience are curious too. Like, how did you come to know Jesus?
oh yeah, that's very important question. Um, because it is huge for me. You know, I, I I wasn't actually a Christian in North. I was not a Christian in North Korea, but I had a chance to hear about Christianity in North Korea. You know,
Wow.
it was. I didn't know that, but when I was in North Korea, every December 24th, my grandfather asked me to go to mountain and then cut the pine tree and bring it to home. And when I brought that pine tree in my home, my grandfather put the cotton ball upon it, and he taught me a song. It was like Bethlehem, Bethlehem, say goodbye, say goodbye. And we called it yoga, but I didn't know what that mean. But when I came
That's
to
crazy.
yeah, and
Christmas in North Korea?
yeah, there was a Christmas tree. I didn't know that. And the
Sorry. Right.
Bethlehem means Bethlehem. Say
Oh.
goodbye means sacrifice. So my grandfather trying to teach me like the Christianity. But unfortunately, my grandfather was not a Christian, but he knew the Christianity because he before the Korean War, my grandfather was a great elite. He was really smart and he learned in Japan. So
Oh.
yeah, so my grandfather knew that North Korea is a restricted country. So
Oh.
uh, yeah, and I heard about Christianity, And like one of my father's friend in North Korea, Mr. Jung, he was a Christian. He was a missionary. So
In
every
North
day,
Korea?
yeah, when he came to my home in North Korea, he was telling us a story about one man and woman, and there was a uh, Adam and Eve story. When I
Right,
was in
Garden of Eden.
yeah, Garden of Eden. That story he taught us, and of course that was not a that no, I didn't have a faith because of that, but that helps me a lot. And when I came to China, I stayed in missionary's house, and in there I learned about Bible, I learned about Jesus, and I read a
Mm,
Bible, and it says I was created by God, and God loves me, and because of
mm,
that, He sent His only Son and sacrificed His Son to save me, and that
mm,
love story moved me. And
mm.
I've never been loved like that in North Korea. As you know, nobody says I love you in North Korea, right?
Right. Yeah, no,
Mm.
we don't. Yeah.
Love is very like rare in North Korea. But when I
Mm,
came to know Jesus, he says, I love you. I died. I so loved you because
mm,
of that I died for you. And like that love moved me. And of course there was a miracle. No, it was a supernatural thing happened. Actually, yeah, that was a crucial moment that I became a Christian because when on my day the defect in North Korea, I need to approach to the river, to Tuman River, right? And to approach the border area, we need to pass a post guard,
mm.
the border guard, the post office, right?
Right,
The
right. It's like a
security
security
check.
guard,
Yeah,
security post office. Yeah.
yeah. We need to pass there. And in North Korea, when you want to move from province to province, city to city, you need to have a permission, right?
Hmm.
통행증.
Right,
We didn't have that permission because we didn't have money.
right,
But we need to pass there to defect, right?
right,
So
right. Yeah.
my mother, one of my sister, we just like walking close to the post guard, and like we didn't have money because we already paid every money to the broker. So we
Mm.
were like goji, like very without
Poor.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
poor. But we need to pass there. But you know what? It was a late October. In autumn season in Korea, it's very sunny and like very clear weather. North
Right.
Korea same. Yeah. But it was really sunny day. And suddenly still sun was there. But super heavy rain was like
Pouring down.
pouring upon there. But
Wow.
that season, North Korea is a harvest season,
Right.
especially the dubukong, like
Right. Like soybean.
bean, yeah, soybean,
Soybean. Mhm.
soybean harvest season. So the soldiers was like spreading the soybeans to dry it, and that is their year food, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they were so busy with that. So they,
Collecting because they don't want to get it wet, so
yeah.
like they all went to collect that
Mm-hmm.
because of the rain. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
because the rain was very sudden rain. It was
Mm.
still sunny, but the
Mm.
rain. So soldiers were so embarrassed and they were trying to uh, take over the soybean. So we were like, oh, nobody's checking us, and we were like smoothly past the postcard.
So you're a smooth criminal.
Yeah, and when we are like the postcard is a vanish far away, rain
Mm.
stopped, and we were
Wow.
like, oh, we didn't know God, so at that time we were like, oh, the sky helped us. And then second one and third one, it happened again and again. It
Mm.
repeated the third time. When we
Wow.
passed the postcard, rain stopped. And then we could pass three post guard security checkpoint without any permission, without bribery money, just by ourselves.
Wow.
When I came to South Korea, I knew I found out that in that day, that moment, my father came to South Korea first, right?
Mm-hmm.
When my father's church members, they had a worldwide campus, and 3,000 get they were prayed for us at the same time at that moment. And I came to know that God called me because He has a purpose. So and after, because of love of God, because of that kind of miracles, and because that kind of things, I encountered Jesus, and that lead me, that gives me a passion to work for the people in North Korea. And yeah, I was born again, and it's my second life. So I
Mm.
willingly sacrifice it to Jesus.
Mm. Wow, that's really powerful. That's a powerful testimony. So Ilyong, so if people wants to actually find out about your organization and actually, maybe help in a way, like what can we do and how can we help? And where can we find out like how can we find out your organization?
Um, yeah, actually, it's like it's really, really Korean based. So now, like Kakao, we have a Kakao channel. We have
Mm-hmm.
an Instagram, but most of them
Okay.
are in Korean.
Okay.
So now we are preparing to make it in English, and
Mm.
yeah, trying to make for familiar for the foreigners, like worldwide. So now, if you want to help me, you just help Charles, because
And that
we
goes to Ilyong.
yeah.
And the
So
team, yeah, Team Jesus, Team J.
Jay,
Wow, Ilyong, that was so great. Thank you so much for being, thank you so much for willing to share your story, and what an incredible and resilient person you are. And I really appreciate you for, all the work that you're doing in South Korea. And, I really hope that one day, God makes, North Korea, Pyongyang, the Jerusalem of the East once again, and that's one thing that I usually ask for my Christian friends to actually continue to pray. So yeah, I hope that God has plans for North Korea, and I know He does. Um, so yeah, I really hope that one day we can go back to a free North Korea and get to meet our friends again and tell them life outside of North Korea.
amen.
Man.
Let's go there together.
Yes, I can't wait to go back to Chongjin because the town that you are born, I was sent there, Chongjin-do 집결소. Yeah, I
Oh,
was sent there. Yeah, that's where I was fed 50 kernels of corn per meal. And I worked there, Chongjin-do 집결소. Yeah, that was in 2009, January of 2009. I was there. Yeah, it might have been like right after you left. But
I,
yeah,
I, want,
thank you so much.
I want to
Hmm?
give you another experience in good side.
The good side, not the bad side. All right, bro. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you guys have any questions or like, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe.